Hello everybody, welcome to the finals game for the Glitch Mentor Tournament Dark World bracket. This is Gammachuu versus Dr. Earworm. They've made it all the way through the highest bracket, and Gammachuu is tied with Dr. Earworm? That can't be right. Oh, they are. That's right. Pretty exciting to see that. We got, Link's house starts for both of them. I actually can't remember what happened in game 2. There have been so many excellent matches. I do remember there being a few hook shots in Swamp and a few ped seeds among these finalists in both brackets. Oh, this is game 2. Okay. I was confusing it with a different bracket. I thought that was right, because I would have known if Gammachuu had lost a game. Let's fix that. So this is the finals match, but it's not necessarily the last match. If Dr. Earworm takes this, there will be a game 3.
Hello, Mama.
Hello, Obscure. I just finished telling everybody this is game 3 and it's actually game 2, so great start.
It's all good. It'll all work itself out in the end.
Yeah, I believe I was thinking of Muffins and Rob J. Beasley, who raced this morning, that had game 3. I actually have not seen the results of that yet, and I was told it was very close.
Oh, a lot of close games going on at the moment.
So Gammachuu has not lost a single race in this tournament, in both Swiss and brackets.
That's pretty something. But then again, he done something similar in the main tournament, and it wasn't till the finals.
You would know, right? Nobody is completely impervious.
Exactly.
Everybody has their match.
Things do go wrong. And I was talking to Dr. Earworms the other day, or Dr. Earworm singular, and he might be making some anti-gamma plays. Let's say that.
So what would be an anti-gamma play? You know gamma more than I do.
Things like, diving into Thieves Town Pendant, going to the back, and just kind of just looking at bad locations and seeing if you can find anything that might give him a bit of an advantage.
It's like Dr. Earworm picking up bonk rocks on the way to the mountain rather than the way to the woods. I'm not actually sure if there's a efficiency bonus from doing one or the other. Most people will just pick it up on the way to the woods. Gammachuu getting his first bombs on Spectacle Rock. It's a full refill here. Dr. Earworm will probably get them too, unless he goes straight to Graveyard Ledge. One thing I know about Dr. Earworm, he was my mentee for 5 out of 6 of the Swiss races. So he does do a lot of routing that's similar to the way I route. But he also is a proponent of not allowing previous seeds to influence your current route. Because every seed is a new seed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But just because he had 2 hookshot and swamp seeds and 2 ped seeds does not mean this one will be a hookshot and swamp seed. At least I hope.
Yeah, can he go 3 for 3? Although he might make that play early, if he is looking to do something that Gamma might not.
Yeah, and as you said though, he would be doing that as an anti-meta play, not because he thinks it's actually there.
Hmm.
I missed what Gammachuu did. It looked like he got the Spectacle Rock item using a clip.
Yeah, that was the Moon Pearl there.
It was the Moon Pearl, okay, so that's a little scary. Moon Pearl early and Moon Pearl late are both scary in their own way. Moon Pearl early means you have early access to the Dark World, and it's hard to decide when to actually go. A late Moon Pearl can force you to do a lot of pretty rough stuff as a bunny. Or even rough light world locations like Eastern Palace without a bow. I missed where Earworm got the mushroom.
I didn't catch that one.
I feel like he's had it for most of the time. Maybe it was Hobo. Because Gammachuu didn't do Hobo.
It must have been a really early play.
Oh.
So I think he had it before I arrived.
Or Pro Shield. Love to see it. Hylia Island. Oh wow, Gammachuu just hasn't been there at all then.
I wonder if Dr. Earworm will just dive straight into Eastern here.
That's, you know, exactly what anti-meta play would constitute, isn't it? It's a huge time loss if there's nothing there. And doing it without the lamp, oof. Looks like he's going for it, though.
It's a brave play, but these are the kind of plays that he feels he might need to make against Gamma.
I would feel a little wary of doing this, because on one hand you could find something really good, but you could also find something really good and still lose time if there's just a bow sitting in Kakariko.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I might put this off for a little bit, especially with the Moon Pearl around as well. Like, maybe once you're starting to get low on items, then... But it is a pendant, so...
I don't think Dr. Earworm has actually seen the Moon Pearl yet. I think he went straight down the mountain from rescuing old...
Yeah.
I've been advising people not to do East Death Mountain before they have at least enough health to tank every Moldorm in Spiral Cave, or some way to defend themselves without losing a ton of time.
But yeah, absolutely. Like, Gamma is... He does not like Eastern Pendant and will avoid it at all costs. So if something is here, that's going to give Dr. Earworm a really big advantage, especially if it's something like the bow.
I almost feel like it has to be the bow, or something you'll not need for a long time, like the Ice Rod.
Hmm.
And then there's the additional risk of if there is something on the boss specifically, you are never getting it.
Yeah, that's very isolated for Dr. Earworm.
Gammachuu is taking a more conventional route through Kakariko, ending it in Desert Palace, but doing it earlier than a lot of people would do it, because we like to wait for fetch quest items and the stuff that you can do in Desert area, like actually completing Desert, doing Checkerboard Cave. Looks like Powder and Bottle have both shown up, so at least Kakariko itself is cleared.
Ooh, and that's map and compass there in Eastern Palace, so there will be something isolated on the boss here.
There would have to be something in this chest for Dr. Earworm to not just lose a million years doing this. And don't even get me started on something on Ped, because that's now a double dip of Eastern. Well, nothing here, so that's 2 minutes Doctor will not be getting back unless Gammachuu makes a desperation dive, which you don't normally do with that when you have the Moon Burl already.
Yeah, I can't see Gamma doing that for a long time.
I expect to see Kakariko into Desert for Dr. Earworm, followed by a Mountain Play. The question is whether that Mountain Play will end on the Moon Pearl acquisition, or if he'll try and bomb jump across and keep going.
It'll be very interesting to see where the third pendant will be, because I think Hera pendant, like Hera's such a short dungeon, you might just do it anyway.
Just doing Hera is not always easy in HMG. Depends on
True.
where your big key is. I think if I found the big key downstairs and had the sword, I would just go up and do it.
Because I don't think the big key is around, because I think Gamma did dive into it, found, I think, the flippers?
The flippers were in Basement Cage, correct?
Yeah. So I guess it just depends with the hook shot. If something like hook shots on Moldorm, then maybe.
Hookshot is the worst thing that can be behind Hera, really.
Gamma's really sticking to conventional. He's like not taking any chances right now.
You know, I would do the same thing. I like to do, unless I have a really obvious choice of where to go in the Dark World, I like to do most of the density in the Light World first. And South Shore is not something that really gets better with Dark World access.
Yeah, I guess that's
I just
true.
do it first. Unless I don't have Zora money or something.
Well, the amount of money we've got this seed already, like, it shouldn't be a problem getting to Zora.
Gamma is also on 3 hearts somehow. Really not been healthy for either runner. It's amazing to go all the way through Kakariko and Desert and not find any health. Yeah, he only had 1 heart piece too. It's crazy.
Wow.
That was the only health he found in the entire loot. He found the equivalent of a full heart container in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Oh. Went to check magic back, then realised no magic.
No magic. And the wrong cane. That's
Yep.
pretty rough. The Gammachuu also would have done the same, right? Except he just didn't do magic bat, or did he have magic?
I don't think he had magic. I think he's only got magic now that he's picked up the half magic. Because I don't remember Gamma doing magic bat.
I think magic for Magic Bat is also an underrated reason to put off Kakariko.
Yeah, definitely.
That is not one you want to have to run back to. Gammachuu will see the mushroom here, but not really in a position to collect it. With the flippers, I would actually be using this water walk to do hobo.
Yeah, I guess with sword as well, like it's a pretty easy clip over to, and he's got flippers.
It's true.
Wow,
Oh,
nice
the flute.
flute.
Ah, see, if you did the ice thread opener, you could have that before Kakariko Village. Would be a little bit of an advantage, maybe. It's fast enough to have the flute, just for saving time in the old man cave. Not having to do the clip and not having to do the first room forwards. You do have to do the second room backwards, though, which probably makes up for that.
Yeah, that's the thing with glitches. It allows us to skip a lot of items, but generally means it's a little bit slower than otherwise it would be with items.
Another reason, I mean, it doesn't apply to them, but to do South Shore early, they actually can get slower the more you put it off.
Oh, really?
Well, because of flippers. If you do South Shore and Zora and all that without flippers, you are saving time by having water walk the whole time, not doing any swimming.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
So that would be relevant to Dr. Earworm, who has plenty of Zora money and also hasn't picked up the flippers yet. So Gammachuu coming back to activate Flute. I would be doing this too, because now you can also check Magic Bat.
Yeah, that's very true. Plus, getting the flute this early, like it is worth activating.
Dr. Earworm also got a full magic in Desert. I saw both Gamma and Dr. Earworm got magic drops from the Popos. Magic Bat Clip can get a little bit more soft block prone if you have flippers, but if you do it right, it shouldn't happen. It's still fairly lenient.
Yeah, flippers is one of those really weird items in glitches. Like you have to be really careful if you've got them.
It also puts Ice Palace and Logic in the most obnoxious way.
Yes, it does. Oh. I don't even want to think about that just yet. This is probably Dr. Earworm's Moon Pearl quite soon.
Gammachuu does this thing where he places a bomb in the old man cave to help navigate. It's faster than using any other method because you're not slowing yourself down by using the bomb. But you get an item to see. You can see it move on the screen and judge how far you're moving.
Yeah, it's one of those like 1% plays.
You mean like only the top 1% do it, or?
Yeah, it's like it does save time, but it saves so little time. If you're trying to eke out like milliseconds, then yes.
It only saves time if you're good at it too.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, the old man.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was going to say the old man cave's pretty simple anyway. Like we've all done it plenty of times without anything to navigate around.
I definitely lose time in there every time to boots dusting more often than I need to, and when I try to boots dust less, I start running into wall or time, just not doing anything than I would if I was boots dusting.
Yeah, nothing on the floating island, which is another one of those clips where flippers can be a little bit annoying.
That is true, yeah. There's a method that works the same with and without flippers, but if you mess it up, you can get kind of like mired in the water that surrounds it, and that can be obnoxious. Dr. Earworm running across the land bridge passes a sign that was updated this morning with the No Logic tournament winner. There's another sign in the game that was also updated. You might be
There was.
a little bit more familiar with.
There absolutely was.
Ooh, Gammachuu, what's he doing? He almost
Probably
forgot.
Yeah.
He was doing NMG or something.
I feel like we need to point out in the main tournament, not last year, the year before, with Gamma versus Dante, with the whole pod play and Gammachuu just kind of forgetting to clear pod, leaving the Samaria in there and throwing the game.
Oh gosh, yeah, I remember that. There's some good stuff in this place Gammachuu almost skipped. It would have been a
It really
shame to
was.
leave behind the hammer and sword.
I
Okay.
assume that if certain crystals and pendants are a certain way, you can get around without the need of a hammer.
Yes, yeah, so I think at this point, given Terra and Eastern, it's not going to happen. But yes, you can have Ice Palace and Pod, and then GT having a good key logic, and that's it. And if you're insane, you can also skip the hammer for Pod.
Oh yes, that's true.
I don't think anybody in the Glitch Mentor tournament has reached that level of insanity yet. There's still plenty of time between now and the HMG tournament in the summer.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of these glitch runners or can we really call them mentees anymore? I mean, they're all so good now.
I don't think I could beat Gammachuu in a race. Oh, he's having trouble though with the spin speed. Some things just never get easier, and spin speed is one of them. You'll see the top NMG runners just missing spin speed sometimes.
So that last pendant was actually swamp. So
Ooh, we gotta hover.
that, yeah,
Ah,
got
so
a hover seed, but
Gammachuu doesn't hover, right?
no, but I think he can Moldorm bounce.
And Dr. Earworm, I think he might be one of those can technically hover people, but I don't think he's going to be skipping the hook shot in the seed. I feel like I should know this. I guess it just never came up in any of the races.
I guess with Swamp being a pendant, that does give Dr. Earworm another opportunity.
To have a hook shot in Swamp?
Yeah, well, yeah, to have Hookshot in Swamp, but I mean, gives him an opportunity to make an early pendant Swamp play.
Yeah.
With or without Hookshot. See if he...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always a proponent of just play your best game and lose, rather than try and outclown your opponent. But that's just my style.
Yeah,
everyone
knows my style.
I just think you'll have more fun. I would have more fun doing that than losing a race because I took gambles and they didn't work. Because that feels more out of my control. If I'm gonna lose, I want it to be my fault.
I guess it's kind of two sides of a coin, isn't it? Two sides of the same coin. Like, I like to make these meta gambles because I feel like that's part of the game.
It is
like,
part of the game.
You're seeing who your opponent is, and you're like, okay, I could do this because they don't do that play, or I shouldn't do this because they do that play.
I will definitely play a little differently against people who can hover when it comes to when I do Hookshot Cave. Little things like that. But ultimately, I'm not going to completely change my route. Just going to make certain decisions swing one way or another. And these would be decisions that are ones that could have swung one way or another regardless of who I'm racing. And I just have to choose one of them. Gamma already on Tempered. It's nice to see.
Yeah, that was in Skullwoods. And so he's picked up both items here, so Skullwoods is pretty empty apart from that sword.
Is this a one and done skull? I think you go in and find a key. So it was the one and done that's safer to get, where you get the key and you keep going and skip the middle. Because one and done is all about skipping the middle.
I think he did do the middle though.
Oh, he did the middle.
I think he went straight there.
Other than Eastern, is there anything Dr. Earworm has done that Gammachuu hasn't done?
Just the mushroom and those early plays.
It's interesting that Gammachuu has just not come back for the mushroom. It might never do it. Which, you know, for Gamma, he's lucky that it wasn't anything, because that could have been very bad.
Yeah, I guess he's still going for the value right now, and we'll get there eventually. Like with the flute, like you can just pick it up and just flute straight to 2.
True, yeah. Something you might do. You might batch with other checks, or might batch with the potion purchase.
Yeah. I mean, if he finds a mirror somewhere, then after Hype Cave, he can just go and pick it up.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Normally.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I don't think about that anymore. But it's
Yeah.
true, that could be better than clipping. Doesn't look like there's any gambling you can do in Thieves. It's just free. You have the hammer, it's a crystal. There's no reason not to do the whole thing right now on your first trip.
Definitely. Like, I feel like Thieves Town's kind of like the next slowest dungeon after Castle Tower. Because there's nothing you can really do. You're going to pick up most of the items, apart from maybe sometimes the big chest.
Gammachoo's on not the best health right now. I think he might have a fairy in the bottle, though. I vaguely remember seeing one of them.
I can't remember about fairy. I'm pretty sure they got a red potion, though. I think they picked that up in Cave 45. Hopefully Gamma should be fine.
Yeah, he's not even in one-hit KO here.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta teach Dr. Earworm how to climb the mountain. This is not correct. You're supposed to drop down to Spike Cave. And then dash.
Sorry.
Both of them having trouble with spin speed in the same spot.
Mm.
Something about that location.
Could be just nerves as well. I mean, it's a final fighting for your life or your tournament life.
Yeah, at least Dr. Earworm is. Gammachuu has one game cushion. Forgets he doesn't have a glove, though. Has to do the old walk dance. Tap, tap. Taking some time to kill Zazax, just to make sure he doesn't get beamed on the way down.
Yeah, not even picking up the hearts, though.
No. And
like, he's just not worried at all.
No small key, so just going straight back this way. Dr. Earworm also getting the sword here. Nice to see. It's easy to just not do Skullwoods entirely, but I think Dr. Earworm has picked up maybe some of my one-and-done habits. Which I think is genuinely good. Should be doing.
Yeah. Skullwoods is such a quick dungeon to dip.
Saw that coming. Oh. Okay, Doc. Good. I'm glad he recognizes he has a key and can just open it this way. Skullwoods is quick, but what really feels bad is when you go in without the fire rod and you find 0 items.
True. Still, I feel quite often I feel damned if I don't do it without the fire rod. So it looks like we're heading, well, we're getting towards the end of the value quite soon. With this kind of loadout, what do you do here? Did you just pick a dungeon?
Yeah, you have a lot of choices that are not that great. But one of the things you can always fall back on is cleaning up your sphere ones. And the escape hasn't been done yet for either runner. You could also do back of escape using a swim flip. I don't think either runner will be attempting that, but it at least lets you do the escape in the order that's good to do, which is back first and then front. We do see Bombos required for Mire. The cool thing about Pendant Swamp is you don't really need to worry about it until you have the Mire Medallion. And sometimes you can even wait for things like the Lamp and the Cane, where it's in Logic. Swamp Palace will always require either the Lamp or the Mirror.
But I'm thinking now, if Hookshot, if we do get another Hookshot in Swamp Seed, like this is a dive Mire to go into Pendant Hera to go into Pendant Swamp.
Yeah.
It's pretty awful.
And on the subject of Moldorm bouncing, like Gammachuu will do that as a, a go mode situation, but Moldorm bounce has the problem if you can't actually get Moldorm's item. So if there is something on that chest, they will need that hookshot.
Yep.
It feels so unfair that you can't get... It feels like you should be able to, like, chuck bombs over the edge and kill Moldorm from afar, and you just can't. Moldorm was so kind to help me get over that ledge, and I returned the favor by killing him. I can see why the developers don't let you do that. Alright, Bow and Cane have shown up for Gammachuu. I would suppose that you might start thinking about Pod.
Yeah, it's most likely a Pod player.
It's
I'm
at
surprised
least,
if it wasn't.
Yeah, it's at least doable, if not in Logic, because of the lack of Lamp. Having no Fire Rod and no medallions for Dark Pod can be kind of sketchy, though. You have to rely a little bit on luck to get the turtles in the very back. Wow, another trouble with spin speed there, and look, we are going into Pod.
Yeah. Like I said, they've still got that red potion, so, and blue mail.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. It's not necessarily about the danger. It takes forever. If you
It
lose
does,
a turtle,
yeah.
you're spending like maybe up to 30 seconds just hammering in random spots, looking for that last one. You know what Dr. Earworm is going for, right?
Yeah, not getting the same RNG luck as Gamma did.
He didn't need to kill that blue Bari, so he seems like he had a reason to. I don't think he's low on resources. I think he just doesn't want to deal with it on the way back.
Don't blame him.
A Gammachuu doing the classic HMG pod where you unlock one door to make the routing cleaner using free cave state keys. And then you do the rest of the pod pretty normally, but with the modified route because you have that free door. The free door also means you get to skip 2 keys if they're both on the lock side. Now, if you're in a seed where you don't necessarily need the hookshot to complete it, you might be tempted into GT here.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that.
You have the hammer, you have the cane, you can at least do tile room. You can climb. If you're a hover, if you're a Moldorm bouncer, you probably don't climb until you are in go mode, but you might find something good, like a glove, you might find an ice rod, a fire source. There's a lot of things that can show up in GT, even when it's out of logic, that it might be worth just doing it.
Yeah, and you can bomb jump yourself around left sides. It's something if I was racing, I'd be really considering right now as a potential next play.
See, I think that would be my aggressive anti-Gamma. It's just, Gamma's doing pod. It seems like the reasonable thing to do, but I'm terrible at dark rooms. So I would be rushing GT. Ooh, a little trouble in mimics. I do wonder if we'll see a Pendant Eastern from Gamma. If there's nothing on Armos Knights, he actually loses time to Dr. Earworm. by doing the whole dungeon instead of just part of it.
I think for now he'll probably leave it. I think he'll still probably leave it pendant Eastern for quite a while.
Is that a Gamma thing, or is that a... I think that's the smart thing to do thing.
I think generally Gamma does not like a pendant Eastern.
Perfectly fair. I would explain why Dr. Earworm was so eager to go in earlier.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was an interesting jump. Landed on the rock.
I actually think right now there's probably more of a chance of Dr. Earworm going back into Eastern.
Oh no. Oh no. Don't do it,
I
Doc.
I don't think he will. I'm just saying, percentage-wise.
Maybe if he had access to the entire pedestal set.
Maybe.
But you're so far away from Ped being even close to in logic or even completable that you're not going to do it. At least until Hookshot and Bombos show up.
So Gamma just went straight to the back there, I guess because he doesn't have mirror, but he's now having to play with these turtles.
Yeah, the last race that I, watched today had lamp in the back of pod. And one of them did this and went straight to the back and the other one got the lamp first. Nice flute. Wonder if that was a detect if I'm still in a door flute or by accident. Love to see a cane dash though. I also see a lot more people using hybrid bomb hammer strats. I think they're good.
Yeah,
especially
it's
if
faster.
Yeah, it's faster. If that's what you're gonna run into. Almost store with your bomb out, then you're pretty much guaranteed to get a hit. That was definitely faster than 17 hammers. The book.
Okay, well we might find out what's on Ped. But Dr. Earworm, this is something that Gamma didn't do.
Oh yeah, so what Dr. Earworm can do here is your mid-fairy swim, which is out of logic. You're supposed to use the mirror or the red crystals to get here. But you can also check Pyramid Ledge, and then go swim over to Hammer Pegs. And the route there. Had a little bit of trouble getting the actual clipping state. And then once you have...
be a little fiddly.
Yeah, once you have the clipping state, you have to stop at the right time. It's really easy to stop too early by accident.
Yeah. It looks like you've hit the door and actually no, you've undershot it.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is it's farther than you think. Overshoot on purpose, and you'll probably be okay. You'll actually see yourself, like, snap backward. Nothing here, though. But it does get it out of the way.
Yeah. So I wonder if he's going to go to pod or if he's going to run up to catfish. This must be pod, surely.
Oh, please don't run up to catfish. Not because it's slow, but because there's a hard lock risk. Okay, he was running up... He was doing the camera correction. So at least if he had done catfish, he would have not hard locked.
Ooh, okay.
So when you do that swim clip, the upward input that gets you into Pyramid Fairy also unlocks your camera. And if you don't relock it by going down a little bit, your catfish transition will be broken and you'll hard lock. It's not good. I actually had to rescue him from that in a mentor race where he was about to go up.
Yeah, at least he learned.
Alright, well, he got a more thorough Dark World clear, and unfortunately was not rewarded for it.
Yeah, I really like that.
No.
Why?
Why is there a
nice
bow?
silvers. I actually really like that hammer pegs. Like, if something was there, like, it would have taken Gamma a long time to get there if we didn't find Titans. And right now, we're not finding any gloves.
I agree, and I'm sad that it didn't reward Dr. Earworm for, like, routing well, because I think that was a really good route that he took.
Oh, yeah.
And he just got punished by finding nothing. And now he's going to do pod and find nothing there except for the silvers. Gammachuu is going after the mushroom now. Maybe just doing some Sphere 1 clears. before doing any unsavory checks. Oh, don't tell me he's doing Eastern. I guess he's... oh, he's doing Hobo. That makes sense.
I was going to say, if Gamma's going to Eastern now, I was like, I just don't know him anymore. Don't know who he is. He's going for the clip because his spin speed has just been
spin speed's just not working out for him. Fortunately, the clip in this direction is also pretty hard. Give me a little bit of time back with Dr. Earworm through that clip taking quite a bit of time. Alright, welcome readers from Zelda Speedruns. This is not NMG, this is HMG, Hybrid Major Glitches Randomizer, where we do underworld clips and overworld clips. Well, the logic accounts for it, so some of these things are required to do things like Swamp Inside Out and Backwards TR. Alright, where does Gammachuu go from here? It's gonna be a GT play.
I feel like it might be GT. I don't think he'd go over to like Turtle Rock or anything like that right now.
I feel like GT is maybe the best play.
Mm. Yeah, although Samaria does open up quite a bit of Turtle Rock, I believe.
It is most of it. Fire Rod. You really want to have Fire Rod for TR.
Yeah. I guess and Medallion to open up the front.
Nah, you don't need that. Oh, there's a glove.
Oh, okay.
That glove is lamp locked. That was on Helmasaur. But Dr. Earworm will probably get that as well. What's interesting is that Ice Palace is in Logic, but they don't have a weapon for Cold Stare. There's a clip in the lobby that lets you get past the first Freezors. And from there, you can do all of Ice Palace except Freezor Room and Cold Stare, and that's in Logic. So we could have a seed with both Bombos and Fire Rod in there.
Yeah.
I don't think we've really seen one of those yet.
No. I mean, it's, again, options for Dr. Earworm, but don't know if he will.
Gammachuu going for the bonk shot chest. Not even trying to hover, which makes sense. If you're not a hover, you're just going to waste time doing that. On the other hand, I think I would have done these first in case Hookshot was there.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I still would have done this after having a look at GT. As a non-hoverer. As a hoverer, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's just free. Then again, GT is also kind of free. The thing you're missing now is a fire source, so you can't climb.
Yeah.
Well, you can try to climb. You can make it pretty far. Somewhere around, I don't know, Torches 1, you'll feel really stupid.
Yeah. Done that before.
I like how Gammachuu has a sword up. Oh, a glove on Catfish.
Wow, okay.
Well. So what that means is the mitts are behind the lamp, but the glove is not.
Yeah, the second glove, yeah.
The mitts do make it quite easy to do that Ice Palace play. You know, Gammachuu putting off GT does actually benefit from being able to do Spike Cave. He wasn't able to do that without the glove before. Dang, we're just having real in-speed issues.
Yeah, what's going to happen?
Take that controller apart and get a Q-tip or something. No. That just feels
While that
bad.
was happening, Dr. Earworm lost his fairy there in Dark Maze as well, so... both having a bit of trouble now.
Dr. Earworm still has to do backup bomb. Gammachuu finding it easier to just do the swordless version, which I respect. So this will be a Graveyard Legend to Backup Escape. I can tell he's going to Backup Escape because he fixed his camera before dropping down. If he hadn't done so, he would have maybe read the tournament winner's plaque on in Houlihan and lost a ton of time by reading his both opponents who beat him. But he got to finals in both, didn't he?
Not last year. Last year he didn't join. He was traveling, I think.
Oh, okay. Who was your opponent in finals?
Schulze.
Schulter. Okay. I don't think we saw King's Tomb. He could have done King's Tomb with mitts and then walked out. Interesting choice not to. It is rather slow to walk out. It should be worth just doing it in a different trip.
Could have just been a mistake. He could have just forgotten that he's got King's Tomb in play.
So that's another chance for Dr. Earworm to pull it back. Alright, let's see this dark room for Doc. Doc room.
The Doc room.
Alright, after predicting it like 4 times, Gammachuu is finally going into GT. Oh, that's a required medallion. It's also Logical Swamp Palace. Oh, no. Oh, we're just gonna go there. Okay. That's bold.
I'm guessing what's going through Gamma's head at this point, he's probably just Fire Rod, Ice Rod away from Go mode.
Oh, very true.
Oh. And there's the King's Tomb.
There's the King's Tomb.
Yeah, it was. He just did forget about it for a moment.
Thinking, well, if there's a fire source here, I should do that for GT. But I also think that he might go to Mire. He might flute and do... I mean, he wouldn't have healed here if he wasn't planning on doing something with it.
Mm.
Nobody ever heals for no reason, right? Looks like Dr. Earworm made it through without incident. Oh, Ice Palace. Oh, Bombos lets you do ice, of course.
Yep.
No more dream logic. I can't believe we haven't seen that yet. And if we have, it wasn't in a restream rates. Sometimes you have Moon Pearl in there, and that's a little more likely. Very uncommon for both fire sources to be locked behind here, without just locking the Moon Pearl. Oh, Gamma. It looks like Gamma doesn't go for the clip. It's a little, it's not necessarily faster to do the clip. If you're not, it depends on what you're doing with Pen Gator Room.
Yeah. To be really careful with the Pen Gator Room.
You do have to, I think if you're doing that thing where you're full clearing ice and not hitting the switch, it's probably faster to go in this way. But one of the nice things about the lobby clip is you get to hit the switch on the way down and not double dip. You can also just put off Pen Gator Room and gamble that it's not the big key. Or even not an item and save a ton of time.
I feel like doing the clip, obviously without Fire Rod or Bombos, but if you haven't got Samaria and can't Ice Break, I feel like that saves you time.
Oh yeah, it's, well, okay, what you do is you just skip Pen Gator Room. That's my philosophy. You skip Pen Gator Room if you're IPPJing.
Yeah.
Because that puts you right on the pit. It's so fast. What does Dr. Earworm do? This is interesting because if he's fixing the camera. I hope this means we get to see a glove before GT, because the last thing you want to see is that Bombos medallion forever. That could be the key to the seed. Yeah, so this
I
looks
think-
like he'll be dropping down and doing. Oh nope, we'll doing
No, Dark Death Mountain.
Dark Death Mountain. This will give me an idea of whether he's going to attempt any hovers in the seed. Is if he tries a one hover in Hookshot Cave. Some people will do like a one hover and give up. Some people will actually persist, and that tells you a lot about how.
Yeah. Oh, there's the hook shot.
There's the hookshot. Oh, no hovers for Gamma. No need to worry about your opponent hovering, I should say.
Yeah. And no hook shots in the left side swamp.
That must be a relief.
So Dr. Earworm doing it the way that you mentioned. Doing Super Bunny.
Oh, we see a hover attempt for Doc. Alright, let's see how. Don't look like. Okay, that looks like a hover to me. So
Oh no!
I would say I agree with him just like giving up on this one, but I would say that's good enough for attempting Moldworm 2 hovers if he ends up in go mode before ice. That hookshot was something else. Usually that looks like a hookshot. That looked like one of those like stuck bushes.
So does Dr. Earworm go with those Titans mitts? Because Spike Cave's such an awkward... Well, it's not awkward, but it's...
Well, what's really awkward is that the hookshot being in ice makes you not want to do GT. But the Bombos being in Spike Cave makes you not want to do ice. We'll see Back of Escape first, because I have a rule that you just do it after your glove. Are we finally going to see GT from Gammachuu?
Ah, this is a GT, yeah.
No reason not to now. I mean, we're in Rod's go mode. Not being able to climb is the least of your concerns now. Having hammer hook shot makes most of the basement in logic. Looting away. We're going to Meyer. No, we can't be. Oh, we're doing Bomba's tablet. Which I don't think we saw from Gammachuu.
No, I don't think he's done
Right,
that.
well this could be something. Fire Rod would be interesting because Dr. Earworm would have a different reason to go into Ice Palace. Just 10 arrows though. Where are we going? What is this?
Is this checkerboard?
Oh yeah, it would be. I agree with doing Tyler. I've seen far too many fire rods here, and if you don't do it first, you also risk leaving behind the big key. And, oh, it's the ice rod. Okay. That's the best item to find of the two that Gamma needs for go mode.
Yeah.
Because now
Funny
he
thing is, I
can-
was literally about to say I've lost races by Ice Rod being in Tile Room just as he picked it up.
Yeah, it's, the fire rod is the classic one because you just like climb and then you never come back because you want the fire rod to do right side. That's why it's so dangerous. Oh, we're checking pad. Well, fire rod could be there, yes, but you know, it looks like Gammachuu is on the critical path. It's gonna be very hard for Dr. Earworm to catch up without a miracle. It'd have to be some bad location like this. And it looks
Oh,
like
never mind.
nope, you just do okay.
Oh, never
Seems
mind.
just free. Never mind. It's an ether medallion on the pedestal. Ether doesn't do anything. Oh no, everything's just free. That's
Well,
not
that's
what you
hello.
want. That's not what you want in a seed when you're racing Gammachuu. You did not want everything to just be free.
No. Gamma's just going to pick up his big key and probably leave the dungeon.
What if Dr. Earworm just does GT and doesn't get the hook shot. I mean, he's very behind, but
He would still need bombos.
But you do that on the way to GT. That's part of GT. So he would actually be in a hover seed go mode, and he would probably attempt the climb. I mean, the hover he did in Hookshot Cave was like almost good enough. He could have probably gotten that in a couple attempts.
I don't know if it'd still be enough though.
It would not, but it would still be interesting. What it would have been more interesting is if Gammachuu didn't get the hook shot. And then we'd get to see some Molder and Bounce action. Gammachuu's just on a big heat hunt now.
Like, I think Dr. Earworm's got the right idea here with like Smith Chain and just really bad checks.
Yeah, I agree with most of what he's done except for Eastern.
Yeah, I mean, Eastern might have been a little bit early.
I wouldn't have said no, don't do Eastern as his mentee. I would say that's your decision, but maybe consider doing a few things first in case a bow is just free.
Exactly. Like now would be a good time for him to go to Eastern.
And then you do a whole, you do the whole Eastern and not this part of it.
Yeah.
Well, now Gammachuu's invincible. That's not fair. Save and quit. So, do GT last? Because clipping back to GT is not really much slower than just running to Ganon. There's no reason to do it now. And now we're doing purple chest for Dr. Earworm, which, fortunately, just circling the drain at this point. No way to come back, in my opinion. Or that I can see.
There's literally nothing, like not even a mirror can help him out.
The mirror is right next to the fire rod.
Yeah.
Even then, like, what does the mirror do? It's not even going to use it for Swamp. It's going to maybe have an easier time to get into TR.
I think the only potential item right now that could be good would be Lamp.
Oh, we're doing the uncle. You know what? It's an hour. It's uncle time. It's Uncle O'Clock. Adjusted for daylight savings. Gammachuu going in the front kind of makes sense. It depends on how comfortable you are with the back to front route. But he used this portal to get in, and he has the mirror so he can get out easily. This can save time if your key layout is a certain way. So it's really just a matter of, like, I don't know, I think it's like the same. Just whether you get lucky or not. This is probably faster if the key's in the front, and if the key is not in the front, if it's in Chomps or in the big key chest, then it's probably faster to do the back to front. The thing that's nice about back to front is you get to mirror Trinex.
Yeah. That's why I like to do it regardless, because it's just nice just to mirror. Oh, he's going to do this one.
Okay, Gammachuu is making a common mistake here, which is moving in increments when you're doing that walk to the left is actually unreliable because it can set you up on a bad subpixel. You really want that leftward movement to be in a single motion. And that diagonal hop he got there, I think, was actually not from the subpixel, but from something else. But it could have failed in a different way, where he jumps all the way into the void instead of on the bridge. The side hop just happens, I think, when you hop off the side because you're holding left too long. Which is why people hesitate in the first place. And I really hope that doesn't cause Gamma to continue hesitating.
Yeah, seems like it was a little uncomfortable there, setting up for the mirror wrap.
Doesn't look like he knows the fast way, so he's manually lining up a pixel. Which is fine. I think this works too. I think this one you just hold down instead of up. But there's a method that puts you on the pixel without having to manually. I recommend anybody who wants to continue playing glitch modes learn that method. Including Dr. Earworm, who's been doing the old way where you manually line up on the bottom.
Oh.
You might see it later. Okay, we see a heal out of Old Man Cave. I hope that means he's going to GT. So he at least has go mode.
With the spike cave as well.
Yes, that's where the heal would be for, if I'm not mistaken. This looks good.
Okay, that's good. That's the spike cave. So hopefully with this Bombo state, he just doesn't save and quit and go do other things, like Ice Palace.
I think that would be a weird thing to do. I'm surprised that Gamma did it. Oh no, he's going to do it too. Dr. Earworm, no.
He's thinking.
What?
Oh,
what happened?
He was thinking.
I mean, it's fine. It's like you can do ice now. We'll get the hook shot, and then we'll lead him back to GT just like Gamma did.
Yeah.
But he'll have done all these other things first and not gotten rewarded for it. Which just feels so unfair sometimes. That's kind of why I don't like doing this sort of, like, just do bad things. Because it feels bad when they don't pay out. It feels unfair, rather than I'm just slower. Oh, Gammachoo's doing, Ooh, okay. This is a map wrap to Skullwoods, which is the best way to get to Skullwoods from here, if you have opened the front door of TR, and don't hardlock trying to do it. Okay, that's... Oh, people who just, like, walk to the door like it's nothing terrify me. I did see Rob J. Beasley hardlock doing that with utter confidence. Just walked too far and hardlocked. It's a shame to see. It looks like Gammachuu just practices that a lot. He's very confident. Usually when people are tiptoeing, they don't hardlock. Because if you've gone too far, you can recognize it. You've gone too far, then save and quit. What was that Eurostrat? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen that either.
It's some rando nonsense. Taking some intentional damage to the beams from Moth. I think most people would get themselves damaged on the spike before Moth so they can do the opener. That worked just fine. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody bonk intentionally to activate the freezors.
I'll do it occasionally.
So this will be Gammachoo's last two dungeons before GT. I'll do this and then mirror desert. And Dr. Urim will get the hook shot, hopefully leading him back to GT. And not swamp, which, God help me if he goes in swamp. Oh no.
I think the bigger worry right now is whether Dr. Earworm will do Tile Room.
Oh, Tyler Room's the ice rod, that's right.
Yeah, because he might just go straight left side.
He might do left side, find the fire rod, and then do right side after.
Yeah, but will he include Tile Room? That's the question.
I don't know, I would, so maybe he would too.
Yeah.
I generally don't skip Tile Room if I'm not in go mode. I think it's one of those 50-50s I just don't like to take unless I have read the key logic, and it's likely to be a key.
Yeah, I think it's an experience thing for me. I've been burnt by Tile Room quite a few times in Glitch Seeds with required items there, usually Ice Rod. So now I just do it.
Dr. Earworm has an emote for that. Pigeon in a Skinner box.
Pigeon in a what?
Oh, a Skinner box. It's a classic operant conditioning experiment where pigeons were given food at certain intervals, that they push levers and so on, and they start developing superstitions because that's just how brains work and how learning works.
Huh. Never heard that before. Thanks for the link. I'll have a look at that after the race. So yeah, it's exactly as we thought. Dr. Earworm this looks like the GT play.
Okay, that's good. It's not Swamp Palace. It would be in character to do that when you're racing Gamma and trying to stay ahead. And it would be kind of cool if he did it and it was the answer, but it's not. Oh, we're going to Tile Room. This can only be Tile Room. All right, so Fire Rod go mode for Doc.
Yeah, at least he's getting go mode. Unless a disaster happens to Gamma now, I don't think gonna make too much difference. Gamma might decide to get fancy and hardlock himself.
The opportunity has passed.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have happened after TR, and it probably still wouldn't have been enough. Because what Gamma's going to do after this is he's just going to climb GT and finish the game.
Yeah.
Nothing else left. Looks like he's pulling out the fire rod torches. We'll see if he... okay, yeah, he's picking up some arrows so that he can use arrows both in GT and on Ganon. Otherwise he would have had to, I think, forego using the silvers for Landmo. And there's go mode for Dr. Earworm, just needs to continue on and do the big key hunt.
I don't remember where it was.
Neither.
Was it? I think it was right side, wasn't it? In Compass Room.
I just saw that Gammachuu got it and saved and quit out, but I forgot where it was.
Yeah, I think he mirrored from Rando Room. I think it was in Compass Room, but not 100%. Wow, Gamma's done with desert already. I didn't even see it.
Oh yeah, that was quick. That's where I was talking about his arrow route.
Yeah.
Making sure he had enough for GT and Ganon after doing Landmo. I don't need that Gammachuu. What are you doing? He has so much health. Maybe he wants to use beams for something.
I think he even changed his bottle into a blue goose. So
He has a red mail. He's literally invincible. Nothing can harm him. What?
maybe he's lacking the confidence. Hasn't done GT climbs enough times. This is where the whole run falls apart.
Nice use of Fire Rod in G2. I don't usually see Fire Rod used this liberally, but when you have the half magic, you can play with it.
Yeah.
I think the Stalfos don't catch fire the way some other enemies do, so they'll just die instantly. You don't have to wait for them to burn. Like, if he had lit Zazox on fire, you'd have to wait a few seconds for the door to open. It's a 22 big key.
I think it's gonna be 21, maybe. Pretty much.
Oh, oh no! Gamma didn't turn to the side. Missed input. Now he has to 3-cycle the room. Oh, you're right, it was 21.
Yeah.
And
And the shovel.
Shovel for good measure, just to feel higher.
Yeah, well, you got a fluff.
So, lamp and swamp?
Yeah, I was trying to think where this lamp could turn up, but I guess it could be front of Maya.
Guess it depends on where the Meyer small keys are. Meyer small
Yeah.
keys on Vidya, then it can't be lamp and swamp. Unless it's in the first chest.
Can't remember what was on Vitreous.
No, not important. Nobody's going to be in lamp go mode in this seed.
No. I'm wondering if it could even be in the climb here.
I don't think anything they have is lamp locked except for one of their gloves. Oh, too early.
Yeah, pretty good gauntlet here from Dr. Earworm.
Oh yeah. It's beamed there. I actually don't know how to avoid getting beamed there either.
Yeah, it's a really good gauntlet. Got through it really well.
I'm canceling the dash just in time to avoid bonking the door. Having a little bit of trouble with the Silver's Lambo. Really hard to come back from a Silver's Lambo that goes wrong.
Yeah.
You rely so much on timing, and the timing is more or less random in the second one. A lot of RNG can difficult, and you can only have one arrow airborne at a time.
I'm surprised he went for the climb though and not for the crystals.
Yeah, it's probably a wash. Doing the climb versus just walking to GT after
Fair enough.
Mire and Desert. I don't think it's losing him time.
And a better Wizrobe rim than Gamma.
Gammachuu going for Poke Dash strats. I saw him miss a couple, but I think he got enough. Plenty. There we go.
Ganon doesn't want this seed to end.
Oh, Gamma, be careful. Okay. You don't want to dry fire your bow at the end of a Ganon fight.
Yeah, GG's to Gamma.
That is the tournament.
Yeah.
At least for the fake Dark World bracket, we still have a game 3 for fake Light World. Couple bronze matches. This is Gamma's undefeated run.
Pretty impressive. Is that forfeit from Dr. Earworm?
It is, yeah. He has so much game left.
Ah.
He says, GG's, well done.
Yeah, unfortunately for Dr. Earworm, it just kind of works against him a little bit. Like, if something was in that early Eastern play, like, this could have been completely different seed.
Correct, and that's why he did it.
Yep.
I mean, I may have disagreed with it for personal psychological reasons, but I can't deny that it would have been a good certain seeds.
Yeah. Like, it makes sense. Like, if you're fighting for your tournament life, you sometimes have to be a little bit aggressive and make these plays.
Dr. Earworm was showing us the emote I was talking about earlier. Everybody got to learn about operant conditioning today.
Hey, GG's, Dr. Earworm.
GG's.
GG.
What was the thing I did that you disagreed with?
The early Eastern.
I agreed with it.
You were very, very early in there. I'm thinking, like, make sure the bow isn't actually free in Kakariko first, but also
Yeah.
if there was something on, like, in Eastern, that is definitely a big leg up against Gamma, so I think, like, doing it eventually was a good play. I don't know if I would have done it as early as you did it.
I did it, so my thinking there was, it's a pendant, and I'm hoping to get the God Eastern and just never ever come back. And I liked my mushroom route, so I wanted to do it. That was the thought process.
The mushroom route was good. And it was just hard because, like, I think this is a seed that nobody is going to beat Gammachuu in because it's a jet seed if you play normally.
Right.
And playing against somebody like Gammachuu in that seed is just... you just need it to not be a jet seed. And it was, so what are you going to do about it?
GG's, Gamma. Well done, man.
Hey, GG's, Doc. GG's. Yeah, I just got in right here and I heard you saying you went to early Eastern.
Yeah, just because it was a pendant and my route sort of took me in that area, and I thought, hey, this could maybe be worth something.
I told myself as I'm doing Baka Saha, because that's normally my starter, like, do I go in there? Is this something Doc is gonna do early on? Like, I really consider that hard. I'm like, no, just still skip it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this seed felt pretty okay the way I routed it. I did a nice little clean Dark World loop. I got the sword early from Thieves Town, so I like had tempered early, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, after I ended my trip to Hype Cave, it just kind of fell in my lap from there. Bow, then what did I get? Oh yeah, I got the book from Helmasaur, which gave me a glove, which was gonna push me to GT, but then I got the other glove from Catfish, and that still didn't push me anywhere else. I was just gonna go GT, and yeah, bombos and just dungeon dive from there.
I didn't know if you were how you felt about Spike Cave, so I thought that into the iced tea, I thought those might have both been skippable for you. So the bombos and the hook shot, I thought, okay, I'm in go mode. Maybe. But no, I still had 3 crystals to get. So it wasn't even close, or 4 crystals to get.
Yeah, there was one async from the mentor tournament where I never knew how to route in Spike Cave, and it was Madcap who were running it as a race, and he crushed me pretty badly. I'm like, how did you ever route in Spike Cave? I don't know how do you route in Spike Cave in this mode. He's like, the best way is probably before GT, because after you clear GT, when do you ever go back to Spike Cave?
Yep.
And it's like, oh, I guess that would be the best, thing to do, the best way to route that in. So yeah, I just got bombos. I'm like, I'm gonna put a hold on GTM in case I find like Fire Rod and Ice. That was my thing.
I did the same thing. I think I did a bunch of the, and this is maybe not a great strategy, but I feel like we talked about this in the interview last time, right? Like I did a handful of things that I figured you wouldn't do, because I felt like that was the best way to sort of stay alive, right? Was like to spike the Fire Rod in Purple Chest or something like that,
Oh, you did Smith's Chain?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that was nowhere near my radar, especially after finishing off Thieves Town. Yeah, that's a nasty check. That would have definitely burned me. That and Eastern especially.
Yep.
And yeah, also the way I routed GT, I ended up getting the Ice Rod first before Fire Rod. I'm like, oh, this is the best case scenario, I think.
Same, yeah.
So it's like, okay, Ice Rod and Fire Rod for go mode, and I get Fire Rod and DM. I'm like, okay, just, that's go mode already. Who cares where the lamp is? Yeah, it just felt like smooth sailing for me. Yeah, nothing too out of the way. That felt pretty nice, though.
Yeah, no, it was a good seed. It was
No, but I do get those plays though. Like that's things I probably wouldn't do for a while. Like you find one of the rods there's when am I
I was trying not to be stupid about it, right? Like I didn't go back to Armos, and I didn't do Smith. I had the flute, which was the only reason I did Smith Chain when I did. Like, and again, we talked about this last time, right? Trying to find the balance between still doing things as efficiently as I can, but just maybe making choices that I think you might not, might not make just from what I've seen you do. It didn't work out. That's okay. I had a blast. This was such a cool tournament.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun in this one. The only reason why I even joined to begin with was I had no intention of joining. Like I didn't have any inkling, and I told Felicity as a joke, if you join, I'll join. And I thought she wasn't gonna join, and she's like, "Oh, I already joined." Like, really? And I thought she was just trolling me, and no, she actually joined. I'm like, "Oh, okay, then I guess I gotta join." And then she tells me a day after registration closed, "Oh, I had to back out because real life issue." I'm like, "Oh, that's totally fine. That's totally fine." But no, I had no regrets joining this. I did have fun. I learned I learned a lot of glitches from many amazing mentors, and I feel like I slowly kind of got consistent with it. Honestly, I didn't really feel it as we were getting closer to the start of the tournament. I was getting pings from homemade beer, being very kind, like, "Oh, Gamma, you want me to teach you?" I'm like, yeah, I'll, later, maybe, as we get closer. Like, I wasn't really feeling it, but as I played and kind of got consistent with glitch, I'm like, oh man, this is actually really fun. I really do enjoy it, and I was very happy to join into on the practically all the asyncs that was posted, the first one, and the dailies that's been the HMG dailies that's come up since the start of this mentor tournament. Like, yeah, I really do enjoy this. It's really fun. It's been fun all around. It's a really fun mode. I enjoy it. and I don't plan on stopping doing any of these glitches anytime soon.
It's good. There's going to be a tournament this summer, and it will be HMG, so I hope to see both of you in it. It sounds like you had enough fun that you might enjoy playing against all your mentors and your fellow mentees who continue on playing glitch modes.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, I had too much fun for me not to even, have a second thought of that. Yeah, I'll definitely be joining in.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's it for the fake Dark World bracket. It's over. There's still at least one match left in fake Light World bracket. Keep an eye out for that one. We also may be at some point vodcasting the bronze match for fake Dark World, because I was told that it's a good one to watch. So keep an eye out for that as well. Otherwise, that will be all for today. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Have a good night.